Okay everybody, welcome back to a brand new Sackboy Big Adventure video. Today we're going to be talking about how the critics will most likely respond to Sackboy Big Adventure. They didn't respond to Plan 3 very well, but every other LP game they were like, yes, it's so good. Before we begin, I want to ask you to hit the subscribe button. We're 10 off from 100 subscribers as recording this, so please make sure to click that little red button, and I would really appreciate it. Like and comment as well. But let's get on to the video. So, the little trailers have come out and they're building up the hype slowly, which means that we may get quite a few sales, but a whole other video on that. But regardless of sale numbers, critic numbers aren't as important because if the actual people still love something, then it's going to get a lot of people. It's going to be considered a very good game and a lot of praise. But if people hate it, then that's gone. Like, for example, there was that really inappropriate movie called Cuties. Critics loved it because they're pedophiles, basically, and I'm not going to fill the whole backstory of that, but regular people hated it on the internet, and that's why it was so hated, and people say it was a pretty much bad movie. So, I mean, it's more about the audience than it is with the critics, but critics do have some influence on the initial sales, because people might be like, okay, well, I might get this game, which is the critics score. And critics are all too full of shit, but let's just get past that. So, I don't know how the critics rate things, but if we look at the actual game itself, we have a large variety of gameplay. This is going to mean something, because like a bigger variety of gameplay basically means we're going to have more things to do, and all the levels are really diverse. So that's going to have to add to something to the critics' ratings of this game. The overall charm of the game is what made Planet 1, 2, and not really 3, but karting, PSP to PSP, so successful. So I think that it's really cool if we can get, I reckon because of that like charm and just the feel of the game is automatically gonna make it a really fun game. Even if you look at the new HUD for Sackboy Big Adventure, which was on the PS5 UI event demo, it looks so good. Like, you have the point score, but it's just hanging on a thread and just bounces around. Just small little things like that really add to the gameplay experience. Replayability as well with clicking prize bubbles. Not too much replayability in this game, but it has to add to something. And now they're going to be rating this as a game, not as a Planet game, so they're not going to care about crap or anything like that. Don't care, okay? This is a new game, get over it. And, especially most critics haven't even probably rated the Planet for the game in ages. Planet 3 was like, what? Only 6 years ago, actually. But that's not like long at all. Nah, that's perfectly fine. But a few things to consider are the characters and the story itself. The characters are a whole lot of fun. I have no doubt that that's going to be pretty fun, and the basic story looks incredible. I made a whole video on predicting the story mode. See how my videos intertwine. Gotta watch them all. There's like 13 of them now. It's ridiculous. But 14, yeah. So, in that video, I talked about what I think is going to happen in the Sackboy Big Adventure story mode, and I did talk about, what did I talk about? I talked about the story and what that's going to happen in it with the Scarlet character, and Sackboy coming in knitted night to stop Vex. So, that's something I predicted, and I do think that it will be able to cross over into this video, and I can say that if the story is really good, because this is a adventure game. It only has the story levels, and that's it. So it's all about the gameplay, the feel, maybe a little bit the music, and then the story. The gameplay is it looks really good. Unless it's buggy, then it's screwed. The story mode looks average to good. We haven't seen the story mode, so we can't really comment on that too much. It looks like, based on the trailers, it looks average to good. The music looks amazing. Every Little Planet game has had banging music, so I have no doubt that and this is just an estimation. We don't know yet. We haven't really heard much of the music. We've heard a few scores from the trailers. That's pretty much it. Either way, that's the music will most likely be either good to very, very, very good, and or excellent, as teachers have to call it in primary school. And then you have, that's pretty much it. And then the feel and the vibe and all that stuff, very, very good. So I think there are a lot of things working in this game's favor. The only things that would be maybe the amount of levels, the replayability, and maybe the lack of create mode. But other than that, I think that this game is going to get a really high critic score. So before I end this video, I want to guess, I'll put it in a pinned comment as well, if I remember. I'm going to guess the estimated critic score for this game. Because Planet 1 had a 95%, and it was actually the 35th best read game of all time, believe it or not. There's a lot of games that are really good, trust me. And then Planet 2 was like 92.3%. Planet 3 was only like 79%, which is actually still pretty good. That's actually a better rating than Fortnite. It was more the bugs that ruined the game. Without the bugs, I reckon it would have got like 85%. It still wasn't a very good game, but it was good enough. That would have got, I reckon it would have gone like 80s, like mid 80s. I reckon if it didn't have those bugs. And Sackboy Adventure has been working on for 3 years, so I sincerely doubt it has any bugs, or at least 3 years. We are estimating, you know. So yeah, just considering everything, I'm going to say that. Because then we have Carding got like 80-something percent, PSP got like 90s as well. I'm gonna guess this game is going to get about a 86% score from critics on average, and I'm gonna say 85%. Now that's quite a big score to give a game without even playing it yet, and this is purely speculation. So don't think that this is gonna be the real critic score. I have a lot of hope in this game doing really well. I'm saying 85 because it could do a few percent worse, but it could do a whole lot better. So it's a very safe bet to go for. But yeah, 8.5-ish, I'm going to guess, is the critic score for this game. Hopefully it can get higher than that. I feel like if it gets in the 80s, that's pretty good. Like a game in 80% is like an A in grade. So some people it's a B. Depends on what school you go to, but that's pretty fucking good. So yeah, that's the end of this video right here. A bit of a longer one, but I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, you know the drill by now, people. Leave a like on the video. Really appreciate it. Comment, I really appreciate it. Share it with all your friends and family, except for the swearing parts. And subscribe to the channel for more videos. Apparently, my entire audience is full of adults, which I don't think is true, but yeah, you is screwed. See you guys later. Bye-bye.